Hello friends, my name is Andrea Lake and this is my first process video for the Arden Creative Studio design team. I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout using the page starters, showing you the two paper pads that I will be using mainly to mat my photo and put together a super fun and colorful background. And then apart from that, we're going to be working with stamps, rubons, ephemera pack, and laser cuts. There are some other products that are part of this collection, so and tons of options when it comes to metal dies. For now, let's focus on what we have on the table. These are four 5x5 squares that I cut out of one of the paper pads, and this is a full sheet that I just cut in half, and it's gonna create that illusion of a um big piece of paper on the back, a continuous piece of paper on the back. And then we have our photo. So this is how our background is mainly gonna look. I do love colorful busy backgrounds. Busy when it comes to color though. You can see that I went with with solid patterns. So I wanted the color, I didn't want it to be busy in terms of pattern. So I'm using this quilting ruler to help me align all of the pieces and adhering them. The stitching on each one of the pieces is tone on tone. I thought it was a really fun way and another detail and another way to add a texture to the project. And then the background is basically done. I have two pieces of paper to mat my photo. If there's one thing you need to know about me is I do love texture. I do love dimension. So we'll be adding a lot of that. And we'll be adding a lot of that that you can in a way that you can touch it, you can feel it, but also visually. So that's where the stamps and the ribbons are going to come into play. So the first thing I'm going to show you are the ribbon pieces that I decided to go with. Are these frames, these two ones. I wish there would have been like a navy blue one, just to really go tone on tone uh, on that blue section. But this one worked really well. And then I also had the florals. Of course, that's another thing. Love butterflies and love florals. So of course had to add those. Now, before I adhere my ribbons, I needed to do some stamping. The stamping will also happen tone on tone. And I went with one of the stamps on the blue section. I'm going to stamp it one more time. Doesn't really matter that there is some overlapping there because that section, and I'll show you, yeah, that doesn't really matter. We're going to end up covering. We just want, again, a little bit of that visual effect of one new layer added to the design. So I'm using a different one. Now, I totally forgot that I already had a plan in my mind to add a lot of embellishments and my title and my journaling piece on that section on the bottom right side of the page. So really the stamping, it's not going to be seen. If I were to do it again, I would bring that stamp uh, lower. I will lower it a little bit more. I still want it to be seen just to keep my page balance. So whatever I'm doing on the top left, I would love to somehow replicate on the bottom right side of my page. Now this is my journaling piece now, and I am just overlapping those two pieces right there and creating a little cluster. Sorry for my head. It, then I'm adding some stamping, comes my title, some foam adhesive on the back just to add one more time a little bit more of dimension, and I'm repeating that on this little piece. And this collection was super fun to work with. All right, laser cuts. And these laser cuts, I love the texture and the visual effect of these pieces. So on the left side, we're going to take some of those blue pieces, and we're going to create more dimension and add more layers on that side. We have those two pieces. And before I adhere anything, I like to, you see me suffering a little bit with them, but I do like to try to see everything first, see how it's gonna look. And then on the right side, I also found a piece that looks pretty similar to that frame. So we have the blue frame on the left and the pink frame on the right. We have some of those leaves that we're gonna be adding. Again, I'm not adhering anything just yet, just making sure that things look the way I like. That one there, adhere the piece that, and once you start counting, if we count the rubans as a layer and the stamping as a layer, once you'll see that I add these three pieces, you start counting how many layers we have on the page, and I think it adds up, at least on the left side where all of the blue embellishments are from the pieces on the background, it adds up to 11 different layers, which is so much fun. So much fun to have so many embellishments, so many textures, different textures. You have the ephemera, the feeling of the rubons, you have those stamps, you have the laser cuts, so many different textures that help create different visual effects and add more dimension to your project. These are some of the final touches before we go to the butterflies that, of course, I had to add. For now, some liquid glue. I'm going to repeat the process with this other piece. We'll add some liquid glue there. All right, making sure that is straight. And then I look for a few more of these pieces. I don't think there's anything else. Find some additional butterflies. Oh yes, and then I did find some leaves that I added to the left and butterflies. We have a blue one that will end up going on the top. On the top, you can see that off camera I added a couple of pieces there. So those are some tabs. And then one more thing that you will see off camera, we'll get there. But before that, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So couple more rubber pieces. So one goes here on the right side. It's gonna go right there. It's just a small detail. Okay. And then one more on the left side. I'm just realizing and confirming that those leaves had not been yet adhered to the page. Now they are. And then let me just walk you through, not now, but right now, the very last thing that I added off camera was this thread. So it's once again tone on tone. You'll see the blue one on the blue section. There is pink thread on the pink section. And then some, you cannot really see much of the green, but there is green where those leaves are. More details on the stitching. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the process video. Once again, this is one fun way, using the papers in a fun way to be allow yourself to create a 12 by 12 page with a very colorful background, and using as many elements as you can to add tons and tons of layers and just have fun. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.